Hello everyone, my name is Devashish Roy. I'm the head of training and development at the Indian Cybersecurity Solutions, and I welcome you all to this special webinar tonight. And today's topic is incident response in AWS, real-time security playbook. So playbook means that you are having some features and you are implementing some features that we do in case of automation. Just like that, AWS is also having some security features. There are various security features like the IAM roles, like the VPC, like the CloudTrail, like the CloudWatch. These are all the security features. So we are going to talk about the complete AWS security framework here. So let's begin. So we'll discuss the response in AWS, the real-time security playbook, and we'll discuss the different security incidents that is there in the Amazon Web Service in real time. When you are protecting the network in real time, so what are the features of security that you have? So incident response is what? Incident response in AWS is a critical process that ensures that organizations can effectively manage and mitigate the consequence of security incident. Like some security breach has happened, and can you control that? Yes, definitely. Can you actually take measures so that that security breach doesn't happen? Definitely, you can do it, and that is the power of the cloud. And by establishing a structured approach to incident response, business can protect their assets and maintain customer trust and comply with regulations. So maintaining the compliance, that is also a very big priority for you. So you have to understand the AWS security architecture or the framework that I was talking about. First of all, definitely AWS IAM role, identity and access management, that is like the permission, and that is to control over user access, like which user is going to do which one. Say one user is going to launch the S2 instance, one user is going to upload the data in the S3 bucket. This way you can segregate. So that is one way, that is the access control list, you can say, allowing organizations to manage permissions effectively and securely. And it supports MFA, that is the multi-factor authentication, providing an additional layer of security. So there are no longer one password or two passwords, but you should have multiple layers of protection. Like when you are supplying the password, when logging into the account, you should have the MFA also, and it's mandatory now. You cannot avoid it. So you should have the Google Authenticator or Microsoft Authenticator app, and the key you should supply. So not only password, but the key, that is a multi-factor. Second is Amazon VPC, not only the IAM, but the Amazon VPC for network isolation. And I will show you this VPC also today. Amazon VPC allows users to create isolated networks within the AWS cloud. Like you are grouping the networks, you are segmenting it, and you are grouping the networks together. That is in the VPC. Enhancing security by controlling access to resource and enabling the segmentation of network. That is a part of the network segmentation. Like we create subnet, we create VLAN. So that is a part of the network segmentation. Similarly, VPC is like that. VPC is creating the subnet. So it is also part of the network segmentation. That is a very important security aspect. And then security groups as firewalls. Definitely you should have some firewall rules, like whenever you are going to say launch any EC2 instance, then you create the security groups NSG, network security group, or network ACL. So security groups in AWS function as virtual firewalls. So you are not having any physical firewall there, but it is acting as a software firewall, controlling inbound and outbound traffic to our AWS resources. And they allow administrator to define rules, definitely to specify which traffic is allowed and which traffic is denied based on IP address, port number, both. So this rule may allow that RDP traffic is allowed or SSH is denied. So you can do anything, and this is a very granular access to this firewall. Then AWS CloudTrail for activity monitoring. CloudTrail provides comprehensive logging of account activity related to actions taken on AWS, say the API calls. So all these things can be logged into CloudTrail. CloudWatch is only for the hardware resources mainly, but CloudTrail is for the software, the applications, the API logging and auditing and incident reporting, incident investigation, and it offers insights into user activity and operational changes. So what are the common security incidents in AWS? First of all, If you do not deploy this security framework, what can happen? You could face data breach that can impact integrity of your network. So anybody could attack into your network, and cloud should be very secure, because security is paramount to the cloud, as I always say. So if you do not make cloud secure, anybody could hack into it. Misconfigured S3 buckets exposes your data. So you have uploading data and that data is exposed. So what will happen? That your sensitive data, say you're not only EC2, but your sensitive bulk of data will be exposed to the outside world, to the attackers. Unauthorized access leads to breaches. Definitely, it is a security breach, and DDoS attacks disrupt services. So, not only DOS, but distributed denial of service. When you are using multiple pieces to target a single machine, that is a DDoS attack that can also happen. So, real time monitoring tools in AWS, which are the tools that actually maintain security and compliance? 90% of which AWS customers utilize Amazon CloudWatch that I was talking about for resource monitoring. 1.5 million cloud events logged daily by AWS CloudTrail to track account activity, and 100% visibility into configuration changes with AWS Config. So I will take you to the AWS console in a while, and we'll explore this CloudWatch, this VPC, these features I'll show you. Then incident response process overview. So you have to understand the stages of incident response. Means preparation, you have to establish protocols, tools, and training to ensure readiness. Your employees are your assets and they should be prepared for it. You should train themselves properly. Second is detection, identifying potential incidents or threats through monitoring and alerts. That should be the place, because continuous auditing or monitoring should be in place. Then containment. If something has happened, say one file is virus infected or something like that, you contain it, you quarantine it. So isolating affected systems to prevent further damage. So you have quarantine that resource so that cannot spread. Eradication, removing the root cause of the incident to prevent reoccurrence. So once it has occurred, but you can prevent the reoccurrence or recurrence of the attack. And recovery, restoring the affected systems and ensuring normal operations that resume. So this is about the theoretical discussion about this security framework. We have learned the different tools theoretically, CloudWatch, CloudTrail, and VPC. But yes, we have to visit the AWS console also, and we have to see practically where are these options. So let me take you to the console now. This is the AWS console that I have, and here you can see that there are many things, like there is VPC. There is virtual private cloud, and this is the default VPC that the AWS has, that is the 172.31.00 slash, say, use the CID as 16. So side value 16 is the default side for the class B. So this is the default VPC that you can definitely use. But yes, if you want to use any other network, any other VPC, you can also create. So you can create your own VPC. That will show you. Let's say you create the VPC only. I'm not going to launch any EC2 instance here, but now we are going to only create the VPC to isolate the network. So let's say I give the name, say this is Rata, and you give any setup block, and you can see that they are advertised in the block, and you should follow the same guideline. Means you cannot give any IP address or any network address of your choice. That you're gonna do. Report. Or you could use the /16 also, but I am taking 24 bits up to the network mart. So that I can divide the entire network into different subnets. And in that subnet, I will say take other bits, say 2 bits from the host part or /26 CIDR or 27, like that. I'm not getting any no IPv6 block here. VPC encryption is nothing, and create the VPC. So you can see that the VPC is already created, and now you have to create the subnets. So this subnets that is already available, and never delete the default subnets or default metrics, then it will be trouble for your account. If you accidentally also delete the default values or default features, again you can create it, but it will be problematic for you. So never do that. And now click on create subnet. You select the VPC. This is the default one, and this is the ISS Kolkata that I have created, and created the subnet, say Kolkata 123. Availability zone, see, if you are going to launch an EC2 instance, then you select an availability zone. Otherwise, if you do not select, it will take a default one. So this is the availability zone, and this way AWS achieves the redundancy. In a region, they are actually creating these AZs for achieving the redundancy. So by default, they will select any one, 1A, 1B, 1C, D, E, F. So many redundancy zones, so many AZs are there. And subnet block can be say 10, 0, 0, 0, and CIDR can be 28 that they're advertising. So it is better to choose the same value that they're giving, because if you give any other value, sometimes it creates trouble. And click on create subnet. So you can see that the subnet is created. So later on, you can launch the EC2 instance here. Right now, I'm not doing it, but you can launch an EC2 instance here, and also you can configure internet gateways for the internet access, any other gateways like NAT gateways for netting to any outside world, say the WAN. You can also create the NAT gateways. Peering connection means between two VPCs. Two VPCs. There are one VPC say in Kolkata, other VPC in Bangalore or any other city, and you can create the connection, the peering connection between the two VPCs there. That you can also do. But right now I'm not doing it. You can also explore the security with this network ACL, because it is a complete security framework. It is not only IAM, it is not only VPC, it is a complete framework. Or you can say the security, there is a security groups there. You can also go to this ACL. So these are the inbound rules. By default, all ICMP traffic, all traffic, that is all allowed, and even all traffic, here is the deny rule also. So you have to go it and choose it, use wisely. So you click here on the edit inbound rules, and rule number is very important because this is the NSG, network security group. So any rule that is say 99, all ICMP traffic is allowed. And if you say 100 or 101, then you deny it, it will not take into effect, because the lower the rule number, that will be taken into effect. So that is the network security group that we'll use. And also you have the network firewalls. So you can also protect it using the AWS network firewall, also the VPN. So there are many things are there that is related to the security part, maybe not directly related, but it is there. So this is one part. This is a VPC, this thing that's related to that that EC2 instance. And also definitely you have the IAM. If you have the IAM, then you can create the users. That we have already done the other day. We created the user, we created the IAM user, and we logged into the user using the IAM user. And I also showed you how to control the EC2 instance, so we could launch the EC2 instance. So here you have to create user, and then again you have to give permission to the user and to launch the EC2 instance. But the user failed, I showed you on the other day, because we didn't give the policies. We gave the EC2 read-only access. So if you give EC2 read-only access, it will never be able to launch the EC2 instances. You have to give EC2 full access. So IAM is a very important one. And you can also go to user groups, and you can create a user group, and you can also add the user to the group. So let's say I am creating an user. Three. And you can provide user access to the AWS management console. It is optional, but yes, if you want to log in with the user, you have to do it. And here you can see I want to create an IAM user, not the user identity center. Auto generate password, there is an option, and if I use, I can give the custom password. So I'm giving CSS that 1234 password, or you switch off user must create a new password next sign in. Click on next, and here you have the option add user to group. Now if you have created the group, then you can have the option create a group here. User group name, say group name is training. So you are creating a group that is training, and you can also assign policy like Amazon EC2 full access or read only access. Say read only access. The same policy that we did before, the day before, the same thing I'm doing it here, because I'm including different users in the group and the create user group. So what will happen? This user will be included in the group. So multiple users can be included. This is the training group. As you can see, Amazon EC2 read only access is there. Next, and you click on create user. So this is a sign in URL for the user and the password that we already did in the previous day. So I'm not repeating it again. So this way you can add the user to the group. So now you know how to add the user to the group and how to give the permission to the group. So this is the IAM, and also you can go to the CloudWatch. You can go to CloudWatch, and you can do the monitoring of the EC2 instances, VPC, anything, literally any monitoring you can do. You can set the alarms. Alarms mean the in alarm means any notification or any warning, means anything is failing. Say your hardware failure is there, say CPU, hard disk, RAM, any failure that you should anticipate, because if you're the administrator, company is spending a lot before their infrastructure. So definitely you cannot allow that somebody will actually hack into your infrastructure or do some hardware failure. No, that is not needed. That is not permissible at all. So you can create some alarms. There are many things, metric, log, even the network monitoring. So you can create an alarm. You can select the metric, and let's say EC2 instance, and you can say the per instance metrics. So CPU, hard disk, there are many factors. There are many points that you can use, but definitely you have to have a great understanding, a deep understanding into this hardware part, because this is the hardware part. This is not the software one. And you can select metric, and definitely you have to specify some values, like whenever CPU grade usage is greater than, equal to, or lower than, you can say 10,000 or something value. So definitely only then the alarm will be triggered, not every now and then. So click on next, or you can also select an existing SNS topic, that is simple notification service. So it will also send an SNS and it will send it to the mail. So select an SNS topic. So these are the topics that I made earlier. So you have to select these SNS topics, or otherwise you have to create a new SNS topic. So these things you have to do. So in CloudWise, there is the alarm, or many things are there, logs are there, or it has a network monitoring. So you can have the overview, create a default dashboard. Everything is there in the CloudWatch overview. So even you get the detailed monitoring of 1 hour, 3 hour, 12 hours. So by default it doesn't give you the every minute report, but if you want, you can do it. Then you have to pay, because free monitoring of the CloudWatch is not allowed for, say, every minute or every second, that you cannot get. But if you want, you have to pay that. And you can also view the logs. That is very important, that I was talking about earlier, the log monitoring. How can you do it? You can do it with this CloudWatch. So you can see that the lambda, this log is generated. So it varies according to action, it varies. So there's a log stream. So just click on that. and you can get the latest view. You can get the detailed view of these logs. So the date, the timestamp, everything you can get, messages. So whatever you want, you can see. That is the logging. That is the auditing. That is the audit trail. You can say the CloudTrail, CloudWatch. CloudTrail is for only the API calls. So these things you can get. Okay. So these are the different the security frameworks that I've shown you the options. Definitely you have to incorporate it, you have to configure it in your production environment, because in a lab or in any one PC test case, if you implement it, definitely it will not show you much results, because you need a bulk of traffic to get these alarms activated or to log the traffic. If you just say just continuously running one is 2 instance, it doesn't make any sense, because it will not trigger any such alarm because it is operating normally. So in a production environment, you can only trigger these events, these logs, say log anomalies, log this live trail. So everything that you want, you can actually achieve. You can go to the cloud trail. This is the user activity and API usage that I was talking about earlier. So there is no query in the dashboard because the API we haven't created. That is about the database, that is about the software part, the programming part. So in the network part, when you are launching an instance, launching an EBS volume, S3 bucket, definitely some logs will be generated, but not in this CloudTrail. In the CloudTrail, you should have some, say the queries, some software queries, only then you'll get it into this dashboard. Or you have to create the event data store, means the event, say the database you have to create, and only then you will be able to see the records there. So that is about the different type of security options that I have shown you today, and each of it is a very important part, and all together make this incident response of this AWS very effective and very secure. So every incident that you have to respond with these different tools. So I think that is what we have explored today about this incident response in AWS in real time. Means whenever the server is running, these tools you have to use, and altogether they make this environment very secure one. Only not one tool, not only VPC, not only CloudWatch, not only IAM roles, no, but all together you have to implement. So if you're a network administrator or cloud administrator, cloud analyst, you have to implement every tool. And I'm very sure that you'll be able to implement it in your enterprise. And I think you have got a good understanding of these topics from this webinar. So that is about the incident response in AWS today. And I have a great news for you. You have some spot discount on the courses that is valid till 8 p.m. You are getting the 10% discount, spot discount. If you enroll in our courses up to 8 p.m., this offer is valid, and everybody should take this offer right now, because I'm the senior trainer of the cloud trainer, and I train the cloud, the solution architect associate AWS certification courses here. And that is very vital, very important for your career, because everything is moving towards the cloud. Every resource, even the controllers, the access points, the router, switch pieces, whatever you say, the servers, they are not on premise anymore. They are moving towards the cloud. So everybody should study the cloud right now. And I will take your classes, and I'll also teach you these topics in very great detail. So everybody should have it right now and enroll themselves. And also, I have another news for you. There is a great contest running on where you have the questionnaire that is served with this webinar. The link is available, and you just click on the link and you will be presented with a questionnaire. There are 10 very easy questions set on this topic, and there's some multiple choice questions that you can give answer. And if you can give 8 out of 10 correct answers, you'll be eligible for a certificate. Just think about it. It is a very important part for your career, and cloud is your career. The network is booming with the cloud, and the future of networking is with the hands of the cloud analysts or cloud engineers. And cloud engineers prospect is sky high, because their salary, their job prospect is more than even the network engineers, you can say, because cloud is the future of the networking. And the certificate is definitely will be needed for your future studies or certifications. So everybody should avail that offer also, and everybody should also try to give as much right answers as you can right now. So that is about the today's topic, incident response in AWS real-time security playbook that we have discovered, and I've also shown you the theory and the practical aspects also. And I think you have enjoyed it and you have gained immense knowledge on this, and you'll be able to incorporate in your enterprise networking and also in your certification objective. So that is it from me for today on this topic. I'll come with some next topic next day. Until then, keep studying and bye.